Harish. Vijayalakshmi. Yeah, others are yet to join, I think. Others are yet to join. ಇದು ದಾನೇಶ ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತುಂಬಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಬಸ್ಸು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ ಹೇಳಿ ವೀಕ್ಲಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ತುಂಬಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಂದಗಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಕಂದಗಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕರ್ ತುಂಬಿಸತ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಪ್ರಮೋದ್. Right, let us start our discussion. The other day, we were discussing about project management, wherein we saw what is project management, which is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirement is called project management, and which had five phases. Five phases. Like the first one was conception phase, definition phase, then planning and organizing phase, implementation phase, and project cleanup phase. Likewise, then also we saw what is called as project scheduling, then we were discussing on what is capital budgeting. Capital budgeting is ultimately it is an act of profit which involves the stakeholders to invest money in the project we are proposing. They will see the feasibility from different point of view. Therefore, they will be able to make profit, or they will invest on such a project where return on investment is better or more, which is a natural phenomena for any investor. And also we saw investment project proposals, how the capital budgeting decisions are taken, such as there were three methodologies. First one was accept reject decision. Second one was the mutually exclusive choice decision. And the third one was the capital rationing decision, in which accept reject decision is straight away the capitalists or the investors, either they accept it or straight away they reject it. There are only two choices: accept or reject. Based on the uh, in comparison with the different projects being proposed and on the basis of greater return on investment. Second one was mutually exclusive choice decision. Here, if you accept one proposal or if you accept for any modification, the earlier product will vanish. That is a kind of decision. So here a lot of care is taken when such decisions are taken. The third one is capital rationing system. Capital is a rare rare thing. Therefore, capital rationing is done on the situations, and if there are many projects which are asking for the fund, they may, depending upon the rating of the project, importance of the project, urgency of the project, they may ration the capital. Because any firm shall be having only fixed amount of capital and it needs to be utilized in the appropriate way. Then also we saw what is called as a project report from the different perspective point of view. World Bank, Harrison, Gillinger, Vasant Desai, many people have defined project report in their own words, out of which Gillinger's definition for a project is something like this: a project is the whole complex of activities, means it is the interconnection of various activities, and it is complex too. There are many activities which are complex too, and there is interconnection between each activity involved in using resources to gain benefits. It means converting the raw material, converting the resources, men, machine, machine, and raw materials. Using this, we convert that into a finished product so that after selling it, we gain the profit. So it is a project. And these projects may differ in size, nature, aim, time, complexity, but there are basically three basic attributes which are common to all the projects, let it be small or big. First one is a course of action, specific objectives, and definite time duration. The project has to be completed in a definite time duration, and it has a specific objectives of the project, and it has to be put into action, how it is going to be implemented. So if you implement, the project is completed. So any project will have these basic three attributes: a course of action, specific objectives, and definite time duration. Now let us see the classification of project. Classification of project. Projects are classified in three different ways. The first one is quantifiable and non-quantifiable projects. Quantifiable and non-quantifiable projects. To give some examples of this quantifiable and non-quantifiable, power generation. Because at the end of the project, we can quantify this project after the execution is able to generate this much megawatts of power. So then we can calculate what is the cost per megawatt hour, cost per megawatt hour. So it is quantifiable. We can calculate aspects of it. Mineral development, mining and other things. Industrial development, development industry and quantify it. Health industries, education industries, everything is quantifiable. So open 100 colleges, then you can quantify out of 100 colleges how many graduates have come out. So such things are quantifiable. Whereas there are certain things that are non-quantifiable projects, such as defense development. In the defense, we invest a lot of money, but it cannot be quantified. It cannot be Murthy, sorry. It- Defense development is a non-quantifiable project wherein a lot of investments are made, but just because we have made investments, we cannot we cannot use those defense equipments just like that unless there is a need. Therefore, on annual basis, we cannot quantify these things. But in case of emergency, definitely all these things will come into picture. Such projects are called non-quantifiable projects. Non-quantifiable projects. Then the second category is sectional projects or sectorial projects. Sectorial projects. What are the different sectors around us? You can see automobile sector, agriculture sector, power sector, health sector, education sector, tourism sector, transport sector, mining sector, irrigation sector. So many sectors we can see around, even banking sector, insurance sector. So many varieties of sectors we can see around us, and every time there are projects going on in all these sectors. and there is a need of capital. One side there is a need of capital, and the other side there are capitalists who are ready to finance your projects if they are viable. The third classification of project is techno-economical projects. Techno-economical projects, in which we have again three categories. First one is factor intensity oriented. Factor intensity oriented means which factor is very much intensive in this particular project. For example, capital intensive, labor intensive. See, some of the industries, capital requirement is huge, whereas manpower requirement is very less. On the other side, if you see, for some of the ನೋಡಿ ಅದು ಹಾಂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನು ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನು ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು 4 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಮಚ್ ಟೈಮ್ ರೀ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನು ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋದು ಹಾಂ ರೀ under techno-economical projects, the first one is factor intensity oriented projects. So which factor is prominent? Basically, if you look at any projects, there are only two main factors. First one is the finance, second one is the manpower. And as I was discussing, that some of the industries wherein capital requirement is huge, whereas manpower requirement is very less. On the other hand, in few of the industries, manpower requirement is huge and capital requirement is less. Second one is cause oriented. Cause oriented. What is the main cause of this project? Example, is it supply demand based, or is it raw material based, or is it skill based? For an example, if you take the education industry, it is not supply demand based. It is not raw material based. It is skill based. Any training industry you take, education and training industries, they develop skilled manpower. Skilled manpower. Therefore, the main cause is developing the skills in the human resources. And few of the industries are there, such as supply demand basis. Supply demand basis. It is as the demand increases, we have to supply so that that demand is met. So to meet the demand, sometimes we may have to import. In between, you might have experienced that there was a shortage of onion in Indian in the Indian market. There was a shortage of onion, and onion prices were as high as 120 rupees per kg. So at that time, what happened was onion was imported and it was supplied to the Indian market. So presently the onion rate is around 40 to 50 rupees. So it is also a project. So there was a project working behind to meet the demand of the nation. Then the third one is magnitude oriented. Magnitude oriented. So here we can see large scale industries, medium scale industries, and small scale industries. Large scale means everything is large. Investment is large, building is large, manpower is large, machineries are large, and at the same time, the market is also large. Similarly, medium and small scale. So these are the three different subcategories under techno-economical projects. Techno-economical projects. So this is how we classify the projects mainly into three divisions. First one is quantifiable and non-quantifiable projects. Second one is sectorial projects. Third one is techno-economical projects. So I was discussing that factor intensive projects wherein I told some industries require huge capital and very low manpower. Can you give me the examples of such industries? Examples of such industries. Bhumika, Venkatesh, give me some example of the industries wherein capital requirement is huge and manpower requirement is less. Elaborate, elaborate. Correct. Yeah. In a telecom industry such as Airtel, we can see we don't see actually any manpower. So when we call, the call goes to customer service and they will solve the customer problems. And whatever investment is there, that investment is in the form of technology. Everything is set once for all. They have invested, and the they are into operation. They are giving the service. So on the other side, it's a labor intensive. It's a lot of labor, lot of manpower is required, whereas the capital is very less, investment is very less. Can you give me some example, Mohammed? Soleha, Harish, yeah, example, hotel management. Yes, yeah, even in a small hotel, we see it is a labor intensive. If few of the labors are off, then hotel is hotel cannot be opened because it stops. Correct. Yeah. Then we'll see the next topic, project identification. Project identification. Basically, this project identification is concerned with collection of economic data, compiling it, and analyzing it to identify the possibility of investment to produce the goods or services for making the profit. Understood? Project identification is concerned with collection of economic data, compiling and analyzing it to identify the possibility of investment to produce the goods or services for making profit. See, any enterprise, the prime motto is to make profit. So to make profit, what kind of projects you are going to enter into? So this is the first stage, project identification. Identify a proper product or identify a proper service which is going to benefit the investor, which is going to benefit the investor. So with respect to project identification, Peter Drucker, Peter Drucker is a management scientist. He suggests there are three types of opportunities. He suggests three types of opportunities. The first one is additive, additive. Second one is complementary. Third one is breakthrough. So these three types are the opportunities for project identification. First one is additive, additive. What this means is utilizing the existing resources and facilities without any change in the business. Without any change in the business. So additive means what you are going to do is you are using the existing resources, raw material is same, machines are same, facilities are same, product is same, marketing channel is same. What you can do is you can add, instead of working in a one shift, You can hire some more people and start working in second shift also. So what will happen because of this? Anita, Bhagyasri, Fiza, what happens under this condition? Instead of working in one shift, now the enterprise is working in two shifts. Fiza, Kanchana, Harish, yeah, we can produce more. We can have more number of products. So what have you done? Simply we have added the manpower, keeping the same machinery. Instead of working in one shift, we have started working in two shifts. Therefore, we can see double the production, double the production. Using the same marketing channel, we can push the products into the market and make profit doubled. Now the profit is doubled. Is it a good activity for any entrepreneur? Certainly yes. Certainly yes. Because not much changes are required in the enterprise. Already the entrepreneurs or the industries, they will be working in their own skill sets. Already the product is known to the people. So you are producing more, therefore cost of production is less, and you can earn profit by pushing the product into the market. This is additive type of project identification. Second one is complementary type of opportunity while choosing the project. This involves new ideas that cause some changes in the existing structure. Complementary. This involves new ideas that causes some changes in the existing structure. So here in complementary opportunities, already you have a product. Suppose we are selling washing machines. If I say the word washing machine, which brand comes to your mind? Vijay Lakshmi, Sushma, Venkatesh, Samsung, Okay. So if the market feels that Samsung is good in washing machines, what Samsung can do is, along with the washing machines, they can introduce iron boxes also. That's a mm, small addition in the product, but which is very much associated with the customer need, because once the customer washes his clothes, then he needs to press them, for which iron box is required. Same Samsung iron box. So people who are there to buy the washing machines, there are bright chances that they will also buy iron box. Even otherwise, because Samsung is good in washing machines, people might believe their iron boxes also are of good quality. Therefore, this market also can be captured. So this is how, using the complementary opportunity for the industries, projects are identified. Then the third one is breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough opportunities. This involves fundamental changes in the both character and structure of the business. Character and structure. This is breakthrough. So altogether, they will enter into a new product line, that is called breakthrough. Suppose there is an industry, banking industry. Let us take State Bank of India. State Bank of India has got good name in the nation. Now what will they do? They will enter into insurance industry. Insurance industry. It is breakthrough for them. It is not the banking industry, but it is very much associated to banking. Relevance is there, but altogether the industry is different. So this calls for changes in the character and structure of the business. The business style is different now for insurance industry, and business style is different for banking industry. At the same time, because they have the goodwill, because they have the goodwill, this breakthrough initiatives may bring success, may bring success. Therefore, as per the opinion of Peter Drucker, there are three types of opportunities for new project identification. First one is additive, second one is complementary, third one is breakthrough. Then also Peter Drucker suggests from where these ideas come, how to how to generate the project identification idea, how to generate this idea. He says there are four ways. First one is observation. Observation. Have a close observation in the market. What is trending? What is trending? So there one can enter. Second one is trade and professional magazines. Trade and professional magazines. So generally, There are n number of magazines. Hello. Hmm. Another. ಹದಿನೈದು ನಿಮಿಷ. New project identification may be done from observation, looking around what is happening in the market, where the rush is, what is trending, what is in demand, kind of thing. So there was a huge during this COVID, there was a huge demand for Venkatesh. Correct, 100% right. There was a huge demand for mask. Almost everybody started producing the masks. All good, even good brand, including what we say this Remans, Arvind, standard brands. They also started producing masks. Even this Ramraj, local vendors, local vendors are there anyway. That we are not talking. Even the big brands, they started offering the masks along with their cloth, along with their dress materials. So that was the thing. So it is the observation. So second one is trade and professional magazines. Trade and professional magazines. If you are into textile industry, there are textile exhibitions happening around the country, around the world. Go participate in it, understand what is happening, what is the latest technology. Or you can subscribe to some of the magazines related to textile industry if you are in textile industry, so that you you are in touch with the present news, current news, from which you can pick some of the projects which you may be trying to enter with three opportunities as we had discussed, that was additive, complementary, or breakthrough. We can see that by observing and by attending the trade fairs and exhibitions and looking at the professional magazines and being updated in the industry, we can see if there is a new mobile is entering into the market, new mobile, new cell phone is entering in the market. Always there are accessories to it. Mobile covers are designed by the small vendors, small scale industries. So they are always on the lookout of what is happening in the mobile industry. So immediately they can produce the mobile covers, and mobile cover sale is almost 5 times the number of mobiles being sold. Any person having one mobile will buy at least covers to it, 5 covers to it. So that is how this complementary market also grows. And the third way to identify the projects is bulletins of research institutes. Yes, in every industry, food industry, textile industry, chemical industry, automobile industry, any industry you take, there are research institutes, and they keep on publishing their research findings. So what needs to be done, how the performance of a particular product can be improved. Such research reports are going to help for any person to enter into a new venture. So this comes under starting a new business. If you find any good option that you can produce such goods or services, yes, it is the best option by referring to research institutes, because this will never be in there in the present market. This is altogether a new thing, and we'll be introducing the new products. And the fourth way is by looking at the government sources. Time and again, through the gadgets, government announces what are the products they are in high demand, where the government subsidy is there, where, which products government would like to export, which products government would like to reduce the imports. See, look at the two different markets. One is the export market, on which government is looking at. So government would like to export the list of products. So therefore, we can enter into those products and make use of that export facility. Second one is government also would like to reduce imports. Reduce imports. There is also an opportunity. One can look at these opportunities, which products government would not like to import. So therefore, there is a huge demand. Locally, you can produce it and supply it to the nation. That is also possible. Two ways. By looking at the government sources, we can identify the new project ideas. So further part is project selection. This will take up in our next class. So now we'll stop and I will take your attendance. Afterwards, you can leave the class. In our next class, we will be discussing project selection, project report content, project formulation, guidelines by planning commission, and many more things. Just wait for a minute. I will take your attendance so that you can leave the class. Today is 14, 2020. Classroom management, second hour, put attendance. Anita Bhagyasri Bhumika. Anita Bhumika Bhagyasri. Yeah, yeah. I am saying your names. No. So I expect you to unmute your mic to ask the question, not for this, not just for the attendance. Okay, attendance anyway I will take. I have your record. Next I have Harish. Harish. For interaction there is a Kanchana is there. Muhammad. Pramod. Pramod. Then we have Sushma. Sushma Pete. To Sushma. Sushma Pete. Then Swaleha Vijayalakshmi. Swaleha Vijayalakshmi. 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 Vijayalakshmi, what is your USN? Yeah, Vijayalakshmi. Vijayalakshmi is there. Swaleha. Swaleha. Right. We are into five. I see how many people are there. 14. 14, 14. Fiza. Harish. Harish. Pramod. Sushma. Sushma. Swaleha. Venkatesh. Vijayalakshmi. How come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Swaleha. Venkatesh. Vijayalakshmi. Right. Yes. Today is 14/12. Yeah, I have taken your attendance. What you can do is uh, you can leave the class and join your next class.